Appreciate you being here. I don't know if you just saw me brush my teeth. I hope not. We're back. It's Wednesday. Crypto and Bitcoin looking about how we left them on Monday. It has been a journey. Unfortunately, a largely red journey to the downside. Price action right now. Quickly breaking some structures set this week. And man, winter sets in. There we go. We're live now. I have no idea when it started, but we're going to do something interesting today. We're going to take some different perspectives on Bitcoin. No, not percents. We're going to take some different perspectives on Bitcoin. We're going to look at it through different lenses. We've done this in the past, but I figure what else is there to do? All the other charts are pretty much down. I think even at this point, gold, metals are down a little bit. Stocks are down off their all-time high. Today we had some bigger numbers come in. I'm actually not seeing those numbers, so maybe they weren't published. Trump was set to speak at 8:30 this morning. We had pending U.S. home sales at 10 a.m. And I guess Trump is speaking again at 1 p.m. Man loves the speeches. But nothing really huge on the docket for data today. The big day is Thursday. Thursday has all of the numbers we're waiting for, even potentially, let me double check. Potentially even the numbers, yes. Potentially even the numbers from October. I don't know why that took so long, like scrolling around to find this. The numbers from October that we've been waiting for. We'll see when they get here. At this point, I think they're not really relevant unless they're crazy numbers. But something tells me so much time has passed that even if they were crazy numbers, they would be changed by now. They would just change them. I don't know. That's my hunch. So we can take a look at some altcoin charts, some cryptos that you guys are watching. We can jump into the chat, see what you guys are feeling. But I think this is a cool way to just focus on Bitcoin, but to not continuously just be going back and looking at the same chart. It is kind of maddening day over day to just go back and see the exact same thing, right? Like I'll just open up a chart for Bitcoin here, nice and clean, nothing on it. This week, obviously looking weak with our red downside of 6.3%, but we're really just where we've been. If you go back the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, 87.7 has been visited each one of those weeks essentially, and this is basically the trading range. So there's not a lot to see. Or at least there's not a lot new to see on this chart. And that's why we're going to take a look at some different perspectives on Bitcoin's chart. They're going to look different. Hopefully the goal is that they'll give us some different signals or signs. We'll get into them. What's up, boys? Boys and girls, Render. What's going on with Render? Dog. The Bitcoin meme coin lounge gaming. Calling Trump's rambling speech. What's up, Adam? Soft Shell, Pickle, Foxy. The data. We have the FOMC. The first FOMC. So the biggest, most important FOMC of 2026. In a week? On Wednesday? So last Wednesday of this month. So 21st? 28th, yeah. We'll be live. Join that. Gold hit an all-time high less than 12 hours ago. Yeah, exactly. But what has it done for me today, buddy? Yeah. What's it done for me right now? Hasn't been at all-time high in 12 hours. What is this, a bear market? Yeah, gold almost touched 5,000. That's the target we're watching for, waiting for. We're not going to jump into these other charts yet because I want to get into the core content of the Bitcoin pairs here. Brief look at the analysis we've been doing over the last few weeks. We were looking for a pullback. However, that pullback not looking healthy. Breaking January 8th's low. That's going to paint a lower low after a higher high, which is an unusual combination, honestly. But we have lost our ascending low trend. And even in this 12-hour candle, we've gone back, tested it, and rejected. It's actually happened twice. This is pretty ugly. Not liking it. I actually dipped on my dash position at a little bit of a loss. Dash 6780. I just, with the whole market falling, I was like, F this. I don't want to be sitting in this. I don't want to be holding this position, worrying about it while everything else drops. but we will get to those things later. Let's start off this way. So a lot of you have brought this up. I know Benjamin Cohen has talked about it. Other analysts, especially on Twitter now, just harping it. Bitcoin against gold. This is a chart that we have absolutely gone over in the last many years. And even into mid 2025, this was a very bullish chart for us. This looked very good. Obviously, the world played out differently on this one, but it was looking extremely strong really all through the middle of last year. Yeah. All through the middle of last year until we, well, fell down into Q4 and continued lower. Let me get over this first. Looking at a simple uptrend. Bitcoin has spent most of its time since 2017 above this ascending trend. That was true through the entirety of the bear market, minus a few weeks here. But for all of the upside price action on Bitcoin, we saw trading above this trend until we failed a higher high in August of 25 and continued falling. Broke a lower high, we began a downtrend. This chart looks miserable. Not gonna lie, this chart looks absolutely gassed. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a peek at it. And we're going to see maybe where we might look for support to the downside. These, while they are largely theoretical, can be really good trading data. And what I really like about it is it's typically data that the masses aren't following. And this is what I always said. The more people looking at something, the less valuable it becomes in trading. It's very counterintuitive. Let's zoom out to the month because this is some big arse time frames. Unfortunately, looking through the lens of gold, we really didn't have a bull run. We had upside price action, but we didn't really have a golden bull run. And that's apparent from all of us watching this channel over the entire cycle. We didn't get a move similar to the 14 into 17. From 2014 to 17, we broke all-time high around April of 17 and just went parabolic into a blow-off top scenario. That happened a little bit into 2021. We did get an all-time high. I would say we didn't have a blow-off top scenario, but we did have higher highs, meaning Bitcoin gained ground over that 4-year cycle against gold in price. And that just didn't happen. From 2021, it took until January and December, well, December of 24 into January of 25 to even trade higher than September's high of 21. Both times it was rejected. This was so bullish until it wasn't, right? That's what it was so bullish here. We had rejected from the all-time highs, but we held our low and we were coming back up into the end of 2025. Failure to continue upward, painting the lower high was, and obviously in hindsight, the doom, right? The doomy candle. Gold, Bitcoin versus gold, now that I look after the last few years, actually has a really solid rate, really solid probability, whatever. On the monthly, I'm seeing whenever we had a bearish engulf on the month, we continued to trade down pretty significantly. 1, 2, 3. Here's the only fake out example, May of 23. 4, 5. Now, not every time that we had a downside move on the monthly time frame did we have a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly, but they've been pretty good. Their hit rate has been decent over the last few years. Looking at it on the month, we have really kind of in knife territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red months in a row for Bitcoin versus gold. Using our fib tool, connecting our bear market low to our technically new all-time high. Technically it was an all-time high. It did trade about 10% higher very briefly. We get the first, at this point, the first knife at about 16. When we look at BTC gold, what it's really saying, because this is per ounce of gold, trading at about 5,000 right now, what it really means, if you want to think of it this way, the number on the right where it says 18.2, which is right now, when we put a support here at 16, we'll just call it 16. What that's saying is that it takes 16 ounces of gold to buy one Bitcoin. So the value of one Bitcoin, if it continues falling to there, will be the equivalent of 16 ounces of gold. That's what this pair simply does. So whenever you see that number on the right go up or down, it's telling you how many ounces of gold for one Bitcoin, to make this easy. Previous resistance from June of 23 on the month before trading up right there at the golden Fibonacci level at 16. Still kind of knifey. Like, this is logical support, right? But still kind of brutal. We have no signs of reversal on the month. The month is absolutely bleeding its brains out against Bitcoin, or Bitcoin against gold is absolutely bleeding its brains out. It's honestly impressive. What's up, friends? What's up, new friends? Below that, man, what do we even have below that? Honestly, not a lot. We could like look down to the 13 level, looking at just the relevant price action to the left, 13.3, and that's it. And then it's like 9, your bear market low. It is not impossible for Bitcoin to trade down to this kind of 9 level against gold. It's not impossible. I would say it's not probable. We did set a higher high, so we should be looking for a higher low somewhere here. And looking at this price or this data can easily skew what we see in this chart. This shows us some macro weakness. It's not good. It's very ugly. But zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, it's been a long journey. Bitcoin has put on crazy gains against gold. I mean, Peter Schiff was yelling about Bitcoin for how long, and he's taken his victory laps. But Bitcoin's up about 200 million% against gold. Let's give it a little more. There we go. 66 million%. That's all against gold in its lifetime. And to see this coming down from 40, really what, 50, 60% downside? Say the all-time high 41. Currently 55% from the all-time high. If we see a trade down to the 2023 resistance, that golden fib ratio at 16, it's about 60% downside. And even if we turned all the way to the bear market of 23, it'd be a 77% downside, which is absolutely something. But in perspective, this has been an upwards journey. We have been moving upwards against gold for a very long time. We have had periods where we've fallen valuation against gold in that 77% level, basically from 21 to 23. Same thing. This is just a lot faster. I'm definitely not done with this chart yet. What else should I put on here? What else should I look at here? These indicators not going to be super helpful in the month. I think what I can do here is look for a measured move target. Here we go. Taking what a lot of people will call the right shoulder of this head and shoulders from your low to your high, using that fib and looking downward for the measured move target. What do we got? Right around 16. That's pretty good confluence. We're pretty good. Sell it all, 41K, Justin. Do it, buddy. Do it. I guess the good news is if we do see a bounce at 16 or a reversal, that's only a 10%. It's only a 10% move from here downward. 10% is a lot, but better than 77%, right? It could tell us that we are closer to the light than we are to entering the tunnel. That's not bad. It's basically a no-brainer to me, using virtually no analysis, just looking at the candlesticks. Look at these monthlies. Whenever this reverses, it is going to retrace hard. It's going to retrace hard. This is super inefficient price action. This is just down. You can see something similar here from April into June of 22, just down. As soon as you really broke through, as soon as you actually reversed, you got that launch up. I would expect something similar. Probably not quite as violent, but we can try to put a little logic on here. Let's assume, and this is a big assumption, we don't know this, but we're going to assume that we bounce at 16. Looking for a retracement back to the 618 or the 0.5 would give us like 24 to 28. Let's make this a little zone. That lines up pretty well here with support that was lost. What would this give us? 50% gain against gold. Yeah, 50% to 66%. Like that's pretty high probability. What's up, chat? Oh god, with my allergies going crazy. Apparently there's just an insane storm that is looking to plow through the United States over this weekend. I saw some areas getting like feet of snow. Kind of like both of those. Sounds fun. I mean, here's the thing: is every year they say this, right? Every single year, it's like there's a blizzard this year. There's gonna be we get a blizzard. You know, we get all this snow, and then like nothing happens. So I usually dismiss it, but I will say that this winter has been the most wintry. The winter that reminds me most of like childhood, when we did get big snows back in the day. You guys remember? We had a blizzard back in the day. Wasn't that, wait a minute, wasn't that blizzard in like, was it 1999? God, I'm dating myself. Was it, or 1996? Wasn't it in a year that ends with a 6? And now we're in 2026? Conspiracy. So the fact that we've seen snow this early in the season, we've only been seeing snow in my memory of the last 10 years, like kind of in February. We've been having kind of hotter weather even up to like Christmas. It's possible. It's possible that we actually get hit by something. I'm in the Northeast, Randy. Precipitous. That's a good word. Dude, it's freezing here. 95, 96. I want to say it was 96. So exactly 30 years. 30 years. 20 years. 30 years. We're not old. You're old. I'm not old. You're old. Yeah, many cities have had blizzards. Yes. True. True, T-Lo. I'm in the Northeast. And honestly, well, no. So the U.S. is huge, but in general, we haven't had like a blizzard. I think 96 was like the last blizzard, because remember, in a lot of the area in the United States, it just doesn't snow. Remember when it was snowing in Texas the last decade? Is it snowing in Texas this year, or is it like normal weather? I have this hunch that it's more normal weather there now, because it's more normal weather up here. I've been saying it for years that our weather has just been so different from this area that I grew up in. It's 40 here. It was minus 15 with wind chill. Yeah, it's been like single digit cold overnight. I left Florida. God, I wish I lived in Florida. Brick 2016 was the last blizzard in Jersey, was it? I don't remember there being like any real blizzards except for in like the one in the 90s. When I say real blizzards though, you guys got to think, I mean, I was like 0 years old. I was a little child, and the snow mountains that I remember, you know, I was probably like a foot tall. So like maybe it's disproportionate. Maybe I'm remembering it in perspective. The theme of this stream today, perspective. It's supposed to snow this weekend in Texas. Never mind. My theory is out the window. You're in LA. Yeah, LA does not. You guys don't get snow ever, do you? I don't think you really ever get snow. Let me finish this. Let me finish up these ideas. So gold versus Bitcoin. This chart is hella bearish. I do want to go down to a lower time frame and check some stuff out. It is hella bearish. Not gonna lie. But there might be light at the end of the tunnel. We may be closer to a bounce than to hell. I don't even know. Closer to a bounce than we think. Here we are at 16 in Bitcoin versus gold. We have some pretty solid confluence here. We have a major resistance that was the resistance that was broken, not back tested into the bull run. We are very close. We see the right shoulder of this movement, or whatever you want to call this, a lower high. On the break, we look for that measured move target that puts us close enough, 16.7, close enough in the range. There's some solid confluence there. We haven't looked at lower time frames because I'm going slow. But here's a little bitty itty right here. The 100-month moving average, which honestly, I wasn't even like aware existed. Never thought of this 100-month moving average. Sits right around there. That's a nice little piece of confluence too. I'll take that home. We've got the 100-month moving average. We've got the golden retracement from the low to the high. We've got the measured move target. Everything, or the month, looks like a great argument for this move. Unfortunately, that means lower. In the hopium side, that could just mean that gold goes up and Bitcoin doesn't do anything. But man, certainly feels like Bitcoin's gonna be doing a little dumping. Gold might be doing a little rallying here. Going down to the week, damn, we have lost the 200-week moving average for this. I think that's going to sell me even more on this move to 16. We've lost the 200-week. Not only have we lost it, we backtested and rejected twice with 2 lower highs. Man, this did not happen until June of 22. So basically halfway through the bear market. Halfway, more than halfway. In the previous cycle. That's solid. I think the weekly is in agreement there. Let's go down to the day. I'll go right back to the chat. Give me a sec. I just want to finish the gold one. Well below the 200. That 200 day though, we're so far disconnected from it. This is just identical to what we saw here. In that sense of losing it and just bolting. Being very afraid of coming back. As that lowered, damn. We're so far from it. It's like we're here. Wow. The farther we get from these moving averages, I think the more magnetic those prices become, the more the market tries to seek them out. Dude, looks like crap. Sheesh. What even is this one? I don't know what indicators are on this chart. I zoomed in. Zooming in didn't help me too much. I didn't get too much from that. I'd hoped maybe there'd be something. But there was not. The month, I think, really put this chart best. So we'll go back out to the month. There it is. We have more. Yeah. The month put this chart best. Looking for continuation to the downside. That's not to say there couldn't be bounces along the way. It does suggest that there are trades in the future, perhaps looking for a long position into a retracement. Back to like the 0.5, 0.618 area. Potentially shorts there for a lower high. We'll see as we get there. But man, if everything doesn't point down to 16, I don't know what does. Neato. Not really. Lame-o. We have more to look at. We're going to do more. I know. Just what you wanted. Bitcoin versus silver we're going to do next. But I'm going to pull up the chat first. In these situations, you stay on hopium. Thank you for being here, 𝐂𝐴𝐺. You're bringing the hopium with you. Appreciate it. What's up, Poochie? Floofing. So was that our relief rally from the other shoulder boys? We going higher before going down. On Bitcoin Gold or on Bitcoin USD? Because Bitcoin USD looks really bad. Silver, damn. This is actually surprising to me. A few things are surprising to me. Silver has pulled back more. So we were just looking at gold. We'll mark out this same level basically. We were looking at gold to trade down to 16, which would be like the equivalent of right here. It hadn't quite reached there. We had about 10% more downside of there. It's already fallen through. Holy. Am I buying Bitcoin Cash right now? I'm not buying anything right now. Fuck that. No, I've done a lot of buying. Oh man. Done a lot of buying over the last years. Haven't been able to do enough selling over the last years. That's the problem. Kind of interesting this. We're about to look at Bitcoin versus silver. Bitcoin USD 2 week has been hugging the 50 SMA for 6 2-week candles. So the Bitcoin weekly, yes, the Bitcoin week has been on the 100 moving average, the 100 SMA, yes. Yeah. Yes. Here we go. Touched it again. Not good. Obviously not good. We talked about this as the weeks have gone by through December, that testing the 100 week was fine, but each additional test was not a sign of strength. And here we are, literally today, I guess, on the low, retesting that 100. Currently at 87,350. Closing a weekly below there is very bearish. We don't want that. Closing a weekly below here, especially after riding up like this. Big old signal for moving downwards. I'm not sure. Have we ever even tested the 100 like this? No. Here. But no, it wasn't even similar at all. We've never seen price action on the 100 week that we see right now. Not super comforting. I mean, if the bottom is in for the week and we go back up, sure. Trading below here, though, is going to be a bad sign, especially closing below here is going to be very ugly. Let's make lots of money in 2026. Yes, let's all work overtime and make lots of money so we can buy the lows. What up, Nasty Nate? How you doing, bro? Happy 420 hump day. Happy 420 hump day to you. Comfy and yield bags. Yeah, man, money market yield bags. Twan says it's clear we're in a bear market. Wait for Q3 or Q4 to start accumulating again. I'm not interested in buying right now. Not interested in buying anything right now. It's just like historically been when you feel that the bottom. Not so sure it's the bottom yet. Our silver guy told you sideways for a couple months. Too much street silverware hit the market. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, silver guy. I don't think silver is stopping. Tell your silver guy that a Bitcoin guy said, nah, dude. I don't know about that. Hasn't hit 100 yet. It wants 100. This is the first cooling that we've seen in a bit. We're about to look at Bitcoin versus silver. That might give us a better picture. Money flow's still up. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Bitcoin versus silver is the next chart. And boy, oh boy, does it look like shit. Wow. Wow. When we look at this chart, Bitcoin versus silver, silver is being denominated by an ounce of silver. So over here, when we see 946, that means it takes 900. The value of 946 silver ounces is equal to 1 Bitcoin. When it goes down, that means that silver has gained value or Bitcoin has lost value, but means that it takes less silver to buy a Bitcoin. When it goes up, it takes more silver to buy a Bitcoin. So if it's up at 3,500, it takes 3,500 ounces of silver to be equal to the value of 1 Bitcoin. There we go. This looks awful. Gold, the gold one looks awful, but this one looks even awfuler. On gold, we were looking potentially for a bounce in this range. Just to put this in a little bit of a picture here. Gold looking to find support potentially at June-July's high of 23 resistance that was broken and untested. Silver not only has tested those levels, both of those levels, it has broken through, meteor smashed down. And at this point, looking at the monthly, what do we got? We got the bear market low. That's it on the month. That's pretty brutal. Some goodish news, maybe, I guess, something around here is this RSI is kind of crazy. This is Bitcoin against silver's RSI on the monthly time frame. Look at this shit. This is actually kind of bonkers. Look at these lows. 12, 15, 18, 22. Here we are, 26. Each of the bear market lows, RSI, have come down to this trend line, and here we are. Each time they have painted bullish divergence, and each time they bounced. There's some hopium. Put put that in your pipe right here. Again, I will interpret this as silver is likely closer to its low than we think it is. I do not love that we have nothing here. There's nothing here on the month to save this. Crypto Maxi boys on life support. I might be sued, man. 690. That's it. That's it. What else do we have? This is a 25% move down. So if Bitcoin were to stay at the exact level it is, which is usually unrealistic, and silver were to gain 25%, where would it be? I have a feeling I know exactly where it would be. Ah, it's 32%, son of a bitch. 113. $113 silver, Bitcoin didn't move. Quarterly, same thing as a month. It's kind of interesting. Below the 100. I don't think this has a 200 for no reason. Oh, Bitcoin doesn't have a 200 month. That's why. I'm smart. I am smart. You've lost the 200 long ago. Wow, dudes. This is insane. You never see this happen. Charts just never break huge moving averages like this and then just continue like completely inefficiently. This never happens. You'll see this happen a lot, but this kind of price action, dude, this like never happens. That's insane. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks to get a single green candle that was immediately sold into. Are we cooked? How cooked are we? Could somebody let me know? Are we uber cooked? $400 weeklies right here. I'm sure that was untested ever. Yep, untested ever. The 400 week moving average on Bitcoin versus silver. Probably no one's ever talked about it ever in the history, because why would you? Was never tested, never touched until December of last year, where it nuked through it. That was overlapping January's high. Wow. Wow, where does this stop? I'm now pretty much of the opinion that we have to see silver and gold stop before Bitcoin can recover. That's bonkers. We got 600. We can just keep moving this until we fit. None of these moving averages will ever have been tested, though. 600, 700, none of these will ever have been tested. Nope. There's nothing here to go on. You have complete inefficiency. There's no efficiency in this move. And there's even very little inefficiency, or there's very little efficiency. Even on the way down, you see there's a largely one candle. There's some right here. That's creating the liquidity or the support right here. And then boom, right up with very little. Just basically straight down, straight up. There's nothing here. This is a complete knife. Unless something says otherwise on like other time frames. This is a complete knife that does not look like it's ton dumping. My jeebs. My jeebies. My heebie-jeebies. That's okay, guys. We lived through the pain. This isn't our first rodeo. We'll make it. We will do it. So let's take the hypothetical of silver bouncing from 690. Almost certainly a decent play there. Even just back to the 1,000 mark. 53% gain. That's similar to what we were looking for on gold. Get back to the chat in a minute. But there's like almost certainly way more that can be taken here. Those are huge risk to rewards. That looks so bad. What does this look like, guys? It's your favorite thing to point out whenever we have this. I feel like Chad always points this out. If we retest the 690, which I think is likely, we can get or begin to establish a neckline. And then what do? You could see a giant head and shoulders play out on this. How crazy would that be? That'd be terrible. Please don't let it happen. There's nothing here. This is wild. This is like absolute free fall. Bitcoin against silver. It just has no support. At the moment, you're kind of battling, or the only reason I think it isn't dumping faster right here is you're kind of teasing this 1,000 level. If we zoom in, we can see silver traded above the 1,000 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Here it even closed above, and then we just opened below. So there's still like a possibility that this holds into the week. And like we close above 1,000, but I don't know, I doubt it. That looks bad. So silver, Bitcoin silver looking even more bearish, in my opinion, than gold, which logically, and I think fits the narrative, means that silver likely has more upside. This is kind of interesting. This is a little bit fit. Little Fitbit, but just connecting those lows here. What do we get? Doesn't look bad. I don't know how valuable this channel will be, but there's some decency here. Okay, gives us this potential 900 mark. Man, that's such a knife though. Good luck. Watching from the Philippines. What's up, Arnold? We all want thin mints. I want thin mints. It looks bad. Yeah, it looks like shirt. The only saving grace here is, honestly, this is so inefficient. You know, this move down is like the exact opposite of this move up. Well, no, it's the exact same thing. It's just different, you know, down instead of up, but only down, just red on the week. And this is only up, green on the week. Similarly, how that came and got filled in, this is very likely to get filled in, right? Whenever we see markets trend in one direction, with no opposing price, really just down or up, we virtually always see that filled in. When that will happen, I don't know. So, you know, do with that what you can. But like, damn, silver versus Bitcoin versus silver. I thought some of these were going to make me feel like better and be like, things aren't so bad. Has not happened so far. We're not done though. We're going to do Bitcoin versus SPX, but I'm going to take a little break here, pull up the chat. Can we look at platinum Bitcoin? Milks, you know what? Mine didn't matter. Just for you, brother. We have that. That's right here. I was going to do that one. We'll do that one, then we'll do SPX. How about that? How about them apples? I'm one step ahead of you. We'll do platinum. I have a feeling that not many people have looked at this chart, so we should also do copper. I should do copper. I was thinking of like one more. I think we'll do copper. Copper. God, I want copper ounce. Is that it? Well, like, we're gonna do platinum, then we'll do copper, and we'll do SPX. What is up, boys? Who's here today? I've been in the zone. We've gone over Bitcoin through the lens of gold and silver. We've talked about blizzards a little bit. We're about to do Bitcoin versus platinum, one that you're probably not familiar with, maybe you've never seen. These pairs are all valid, though you may not trade them directly. Some of them you can, like PAX-G, BTC. Even though you can't trade some of them directly, like Bitcoin Platinum, they're still valid. And what you'll find is that charts still respond as if they were directly traded. And in my opinion, these charts can oftentimes be even more valuable than the USD charts because they don't seem to be as manipulated. Perhaps it's because less people look at them, less people are trading them directly. I'm not sure, but they seem to be or behave more purely when it comes to analysis, which is a big thing of mine. We've done the Bitcoin versus altcoin pairs a lot. We never really got into them that much during the bull run this cycle because there really wasn't a bull run this cycle to use them with. But these pairs, whether it's gold, stocks, alts, currencies, whatever it is, are valid and they will give you value. So we're going through them. Platinum's up next. Who's here today? say hello to you guys. I've been in the zone for like 45 minutes. Let me take a break from just staring at charts so I don't get super chart fatigued here. We got some new subscribers. What's up? Anaruda, Shiva, Motivation, Kashi. Who else? Who else is here? If you're here today, say hello in the chat because I want to shout you out. Especially if you're new, but especially if you're not new, right? Just do it anyway. Vote in the poll, subscribe, like. Let me know you're here. I see some good names. What's up, Arnold? Cactus Leo, Crypto Mon, Crypto Stevo Dilo, Crypto 007, El Chido, Fahid Suhan, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭 getting the yields. I don't know. I didn't see what you said. I assume you didn't mean crypto yield. Because crypto yield, I imagine, is the worst return right now. Because you're getting yield in coins and their value's dumping. You're just having losses. What's up, Frank? 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐾, JCD, �KTFC, Pooch, Mike's, Monkey. What's up, Monkey? It's good to see you again, man. Glad you're back. Mr. Pump-A-Lot, Stupid Name, Nimoy, Randy Greer, Ron's, Pretzel TV. What's up, Pretzel? Skatecrow, Snackery, like Zaggery. If I ever have a kid and it's a boy or girl, I'm naming him Snackery. Stardog, what's up, man? Tariq, Bearded Wanderer, Pickle. Cheers, Pickle. Myself, of course. Torator, what's up, bro? Worston Bruge, Ubinsky. Who else did I miss? Ron's. What up, brother? This is what we get for patching the hole in the ozone. We did that. This is one of our greatest triumphs as humans, is that we all came together and did something. I genuinely believe that. Didn't save the world, but how often do we all come together and do anything? And the answer is never. Very, very bad at that. What's up, B Magic? Bullish Future. What's up, Shelly? Be careful, don't crack your neck. Ram Sharp Hands, yeah. I think it's the headset. I think it's like the weight of the headset makes me want to crack my neck. I don't do it as much when I'm not like sitting here with these on. You're right, though. What's up, Brazilians World? New to the chat. Watching for 2 years. Cheers, bro. It's been a rough 2 years. Bitcoin's pumping, brother. Brother Nature. Well, Bitcoin is off the 100 week right here. We said it earlier. Like, this is it. Like, you can't trade lower than we already traded today. You certainly cannot close lower. That will be terrible. Wouldn't quite say pumping. But, hey, it's not red right now. That's good. That's a plus. We're going to do Bitcoin Platinum in just a minute. 70% yield on Stellar. Yeah, I don't know, brother. I don't know. If there's does that mean there's 70% inflation on Stellar? Like, because where would the yield come from if they're not printing new ones? I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing that you can stake at all. I'm confused. Careful with that. Careful with that. Best vibes and lives. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. You guessed the Trump crypto agenda was non-existent. It feels that way. Yeah, I mean, certainly it's not what people expected it to be in 2025 or during the election time. Solana phone, didn't they just like retire the old Solana phone and it just came out? What's up, David B? Info on BSF coin? No, I don't know anything about it. What's up, Adam Buzz or Mang? Yield Gang. What am I thinking about crypto? It looks pretty miserable, doesn't it? I still think we have a bounce coming. Still think we see at least a return to the 200 daily moving average and like low 100Ks. I have not lost hope that we can't move higher. We can't have a bullish year. It's certainly possible. But like, there's no new info. There's no new stuff. No new factors going on. Bitcoin has looked like trash. It looks like trash. it's exactly where it's been. It hasn't broken its low. And like we're still technically holding the low, so it's like a higher low and a higher high, but without that move up, man, we're just, nothing's changed, right? I know everybody wants there to be some new edge, new alpha. That's why we're going over these different paired charts to try to find something, which so far has not been a super bullish practice. But price is exactly where price has been for the last 2 months, and nothing is going to change fundamentally about whether we're going to break up or down. It's not getting like more bearish or more bullish while we're doing that. Right now, literally just where we were, and it sucks because there's so low sentiment. Everyone's expecting it to break down. Sentiment's just getting worse too. It feels rougher, but nothing has changed. So we're all grasping for something to say like, oh, you know, this changes everything. The only thing that really will change anything is, I would say, a close underneath today's low on the week would be a very bad sign. A wick below November's low, 80.8, obviously a bad sign. But outside of that, I think we're slowly coming up here. We're looking at the low 100s. We'll find out what happens, right? If we blast through, we can go to all-time highs. If we reverse it like the 200-day, as we've done into every bear market, right up here, 105K, then it's just looking a lot like every bear market. Nothing's changed. But when it does, we'll be here. Better believe it. Bitcoin versus platinum. We'll get into it. I'm just like, yeah, been 10 minutes. Chasing high yields in crypto. Steve, we learned that lesson in like 21. Charlie Munger was right. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Dozens of us, literally dozens. I mean, I have Stellar. I've had Stellar and XRP longer than probably most people in this chat have been in crypto. Never, I don't think it's stakes though. Pretty sure it's not stake. What's up, Horsor Tripoli? What's up? Monero looking like support's holding? Oh god. I hope so. We got nuked. Even Monero got nuked here. This was such a good bounce. Yeah, here we go. I'm like, I gotta own up to it. I was wrong. We did not get a bounce of 600. You did see me sell the top live looking for that 600 move, but we have crashed right through it back to 517. So in my book, this has to hold. Like we have to see this hold as support to continue to the upside. This looks brutal. This is not a good look, but it can be salvaged. This isn't the end of the world. But even my shining stars, not doing the hottest. Closing above 517 on the day is big. Let's just call it like 520. That'll be big. Closing below, bad. Bird. Trading to 420. If we trade down, we close below 517 today and we trade down to Monero. 420 would likely be that downside support. Test of 420 will probably be convincing for me that I'm not going to wait for further upside. Put it that way. There we are. Did good. So, I mean, it did good. It hit 800. What a low target for crypto. It's all over, says one Nito. It's been all over before. It could be all over again. How more the Bitcoin go down, Zach? Oh, man. I mean, it hasn't gone down in 60 days. I don't have any thoughts on Davos. I don't know that much about it. It keeps being brought up now, so I'll have to look into it more. Pippin. Power friend. We're going to do Bitcoin versus Platinum next. We're doing a Bitcoin paired thing today. But I'll say this. I don't know anything about Pippin. Be very, very careful with coins that are pumping today. When the market's dropping and you see coins pumping like 50%, whatever, you see them just like diverge from the pack. I'm not sure I've ever seen a single time where that's happened and they didn't just sell off then. Like by the time you saw this like big move, it's up in like the top movers of the day. It's like you see the chart and you're like, oh, it's going against the market. It's like, I'm not sure I've ever seen an example where that wasn't the top and it didn't just reverse and sell off lower. Personally, be very careful. Bitcoin versus platinum. More in line with gold here. 1, 2, 3, 5 months. We're working on, no, not 5 months. Jesus Christ. Working on 5 quarters of just down. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. I never thought I'd see the day where we see this kind of BS. That's the quarter. Let's go. Your month. Sure. Top of the monthly swing. Bottom of the swing. 34.5. We are very close to that. So this is in between gold and silver, which is weird. Gold is like right about here. Silver is down here or whatever. Lower. Platinum right in the middle. Very close to July and June's high. Potentially looking for support. I think this will be a good indicator if this dumps through. Likely going to be a good indicator that gold will do the same on a test. We've already seen silver do it. Platinum's right here. This chart. God, I might take my headphones off because they're bothering my neck. There we go. It's not like I have any music on anyway. Should turn music on. Doesn't really look right. Let's take the fib right there. I mean, this is where we're looking for gold to bounce, and it is eminent right here. That could mean Bitcoin rallies, platinum doesn't, or platinum dumps, Bitcoin doesn't move. But here we are, right there. Nah, that's not comfortable either. Yeah, turn music. Hold up. Hold up. Here we go. Gold versus platinum. So the continued Bitcoin against metals charting and really similar stuff. You see a very predictable fall, lower highs, lower lows on RSI on the monthly, just like silver, just like gold. Each of those lows has come pretty much at the bottom of the bear market. I don't want to fit it like this and say, oh, the bottom's in. But it's the idea here. Lower low has been accomplished off of a lower high and basically looking for a reversal. And I keep saying that the bottom of these pairs is likely closer than we think. Silver, I don't know, man. Silver is crazy. But platinum and gold right here approaching support. This could be where we look for a bounce, especially looking at those big time frame RSIs. Yeah, same with gold. 100 monthly right there, acting as support potentially. Pi cycle bottom, whatever that means. Pi cycle bottom alert, gut went off. Pi cycle is just like a weird combination of, yeah, it's 471 moving average and the 150 exponential moving average, and then you multiply 741 by 0.74. I don't know. It seems silly. Seems like a silly thing to do, but here we go. Looking for that bottom. It did call this in hindsight right here. And this is almost certainly just backfitted data for these to fit. I don't see it calling it. There's no cycle tops on that. It's okay. Interesting. I didn't throw 𝐂𝐴𝐵𝐾 cloud on any of these. Right to the cloud here. Well, now experience levity. You've already broken lower. Something tells me this support's not going to hold. I do not think it will. So weird. Everybody talked about Pi Cycle, and then everybody forgot about Pi Cycle. Weekly still looking for down. This is hard to bet up. It's hard to bet up on Bitcoin Platinum. For the last 4 weeks, you kind of consolidated or distributed. Now you're breaking down in this week. Bitcoin's not moving. That's not very comforting. Low to high on 618 measure move. Ooh. I think like most of these, you could look for this bounce play back to here. My lord. Bitcoin, you are a perpetual test. A perpetual test. I've been tested enough. You know what I really need to be tested with if you're out there, universe? Test me with like a lot of money. You know, you've done a lot of the opposite and you've done a lot of the stress and other stuff. Test me with a lot of money. They say it's difficult to just all of a sudden maybe win the lottery. It's very different. My lord. Rizzy says this is the time you buy. Definitely better than at the all-time highs. This is Bitcoin versus Platinum. I don't know if I'd be a buyer right here. Certainly there's a trade to be made. Looking for a bounce. With the way silver nuked through that, I don't know, feel that way about it, but certainly there is a bounce play here. At 26, I think there's a bounce play there. But man, like, look at this. Look at these moves. Just so inefficient. Distribution breakdown. Everything looks like shit. Thanks for the comparison. You're welcome, brother. This is on the docket. Maybe stocks will give us a little different picture. Maybe copper will give us a little different picture. I feel like we should do stock SPX. Copper's a little bit more calm. Copper even maybe a little more reverse oriented. Copper hasn't had a big run on all-time high. Coming to a lot of money, do not disturb mode. Oh yeah. First thing you do is hire a lawyer. Then do not, yeah, and do not disturb mode. Be like Keanu Reeves, you know I would be. Universe, you put $1 billion in my hands, and you better believe I will create $1 billion worth of happiness. More than that. I won't sit on it like a dragon. We'll do gold versus SPX next. We could do versus like Russell and stuff, DJI. They might be a little bit different, especially as Russ is like barely at all-time high. We could do that. Which Keanu? Both, baby. What's up, useless? We're getting wrecked, yeah. BTC gold with the cloud? Yeah, I didn't do gold on with the cloud. That's a good point. Without the pirates. Little British rap for you. Ugh. Fuck you, gold. Yeah. We've never seen this on Bitcoin versus gold. We've never had this pair break through the cloud downward. We've only seen it break sideways, meaning like traded down and then moved sideways and broke through the cloud. See that here in 21, 22, in 2020. And you technically can't see it, but you can still see it here with this red line. The same thing happened. Trade sideways and through. We have never seen this. It's weird. This needs to like really rocket to reverse. To get the cross up, man, this would have to trade all the way up to the 30s. The week is so cooked, bro. This is the crazy chart. I can't believe that. Trapped below the cloud. Trizapped. 𝐒𝐴𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭 I'm good. Multiplied by pi, something like that, monkey. It's irrational. Ooh, the pi indicated it's irrational. Few will get that left field. Few. Think Bitcoin will chase 80K level then pump? I hope so. This time is different. Dream Tank did. This time was different. At least I feel like it was different. Shall we do Bitcoin stocks here, and then we'll do more just random whatever. Finish up the homework for the stream. This is our homework. Wow, that's pretty clean. 2021 high was the yearly close. Obviously, Bitcoin has performed way better against stocks than it has against metals. And that's because metals have performed incredibly against stocks as well. That's logical. Ooh. I'll take this MACD on the week. I'll take all these waning momentum candles. Still looks bad though. $9.7. You already broke low. You already broke March's low. This looks bad. RSI at a little swing rejection potential there. Next downside support, easy enough. 9.7, 9.69, nice. Bitcoin just really underperformed. 33% from its high. So from its high, it only went up 30, 25, 30% over 4 years. Sheesh. 7. It's about the same. Crappy. You see this coming up to the 100 week. Not a lot here. You've fallen, you've closed below support. If Bitcoin USD looked like this chart, it'd be way more bearish. Actually, let's do it this way. Bitcoin versus the SPX has closed below February's low. Not only did it close below on the week, we have seen so many tests of resistance here, and I mean that's good. You're testing resistance over and over again, you're weakening it, but to be trapped underneath support like this, man, that is not a great place to be. You have a relatively large area of inefficiency that could be filled in, obviously on a breakup. Maybe if Bitcoin does reach like 105, does the dead cat bounce thing, maybe that aligns with it coming to a 16-ish against the SPX, filling in that gap. I think while we're sitting here, the logical move that people will be looking for is likely downward to the 10-ish valuation. Up there. 16 seems in its future. Trying on the day. Shit. 200 day up there at 16. There's a lot of confluence for this at 16. Not gonna lie. It's hard to bet on that because this looks just gibberish. Gibberish crap. Could pan out though. Not digging this song. It is Grizz. I'm not feeling it's too chillin' Grizz. Zed's dead. Let's go. Bang. What is more bearish than fucking Bitcoin right now? So we can chart it against to make it look good, to feel good about it. Not a lot. Doesn't seem like a lot. Can't see that. Bringing back sweet memories. Can explore charts for hours, dude. That's what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here getting lost in the sauce, man. Bitcoin versus XPX it's definitely the most bullish of the ones we've looked at. The metal charts are just beast mode. You can see a retest of 10 pretty easily, but something like this would likely fit into Bitcoin at 106, rejection, bear market. Let's look for bottom trends. Okay. Alone. Back sweet memories. I have a feeling that this trend line that we've been putting on charts for months, maybe even years, I have a feeling that this is going to come back and play in the next year or two. Next year. I have a feeling. Hopefully I'm wrong. Dang, I would have been surprised, honestly, if it was right there. Yep. Feel better by charting XRP BTC. I mean, I don't like that one. I don't even know if that looks better. Night token. We didn't look at Bitcoin versus copper, which I think is probably worth looking at. Because copper is just the least bullish of the metals, even though it's at all-time high. Night. So, problem with charting night token is you have so little history, and all of the history has just been within this range. Your all-time high and basically your first day of trading. And so, I don't know, man, like most of the analysis that would be done here is just going to be like waiting, right? Waiting for a break of the highs, waiting for a break of the lows. There's not going to be very concrete stuff. I've been watching Night though. I'm not really sure why I've been watching it. I just have been. You have retraced to the golden fib to 618. This is flag-ish, but I think that probability would agree with me that a move, even if not a large move in the other direction, is probably on deck. If you don't break 6.5 cents, man, you are just gonna go to all-time lows. But yeah, you're just making inside moves at this point. So there isn't a lot to do. I mean, we could look at the chart some way like this and say it's just triangle, lower highs, higher lows. Not gonna be a lot to do, but I do keep an eye on this for whatever reason. I don't know why. Give DZ a hard time. Hope DZ's doing well. DZ was always a good dude. Like, I always liked DZ. He's always a good guy when I'd be on ATB with all the folks. Remember those times, guys? Weren't those the... God, I feel like I'm gonna be an old man reminiscing about those times. 2021. The good old days. Creating more sell pressure on ADA, I agree. Green Day, waiting. Just go listen to Green Day. You can listen to them right now. John Doe, loading bags at the lows. Brother, I mean, here's the reality, right? We've seen downside moves. A lot of these charts, especially like Bitcoin versus silver and gold, they probably have more downside, but they certainly don't have the same amount of downside that they've already done. Like, if they're already down 60%, I don't think they have 60% to go. They have like 10% to go. And as bad as this sounds and feels, everybody was a buyer on all these charts up here. Like, end of 24, all of 25, everybody was a buyer. And now that charts have fallen, people aren't buyers anymore, right? They're like, oh, just like me. I was like, I don't feel like buying anything. The reality is we're closer to the bottom of all these things than we think. Doesn't mean we're at the bottom. Doesn't mean we're not going to go down further. But it is a better move to be buying now than it was all of 2025. I know that sounds like duh, but it's easy to kind of lose sight of that. With how shitty it feels, how bearish everyone is, it's like, it's easy to think, oh, like buying now is dumb. When in reality, buying all throughout 2025 was dumb. And that was when everybody was like encouraging it and saying they're buying dips. And you know what I mean? Like, you're doing it right versus almost everybody in the entire year before. So it makes sense. Makes sense. I have a lot of my bags. I didn't get out of a lot of my bags, so it's not like my bags aren't packed. They're packed. They've been packed. I think maybe I ruined Monero because I sold the top of it live during our stream. Maybe I killed it. Rest in peace. No, I'm just kidding. Bitcoin versus copper. Looks a lot like Bitcoin versus SPX in the same sense. Still bad. Your silver guy's buying tin? Interesting. Well, we did have all the calls this year. We had the uranium all-time high call. There we go. 7,700 too, as high as 8,700. We had the silver to 100. It's not quite there yet. We had gold to 5,000. Pretty much there. Not quite there yet. Gold's maybe going to be there today. Man, we made so many good calls. We made so many great calls. Aluminum, I think, is going to be like the next big one. Only because it has like 30% to just 2022's high. Maybe not. Maybe aluminum isn't part of this rally, though. It seems to be on course. I have not FOMO'd in. You'd think, right? Covering Bitcoin, crypto all the time and watching these percents play out. You'd think I would have FOMO'd into metals. I didn't. Should I have? Probably. I have the 20x long open still on gold. That's it. It's not enough to save my portfolio, unfortunately. Copper. But even now, I'm not jumping into them. Everything that goes up comes down. Meaning, I think silver and gold are both going higher. Platinum's, I think, is going higher. Copper, I think, is going higher. I think all of them are going higher, but I also believe that in the next few years, that they will be cheaper than they are now. I can wait. Okay. Yes. Bitcoin versus copper closed below the previous 2021 all-time high. Honestly, the least retraced of all the charts we've looked at so far, maybe akin to SPX. Very tested monthly support. About 12% down. You can see there's a big move, 44% down to even the levels that Platinum's at right now. I might be running out of steam looking at these. All of them are so inefficient. It's just like SPX actually, because, yep, right here. You've fallen below April, May, and now you're distributing or consolidating. Might hit 13.3 first. I have not looked at my portfolio since October. I looked at it in October when it was at all-time high, and I was like, cool. And then everything crushed, and I was like, I'm just not going to open that. I'll check in on that 2027 or something. I don't want to know. I know I'm down 6 figures for sure. For sure. Bitcoin versus copper, you just look like the SPX. Fell below support, closing candles. Look a little more bullish here on the day. I don't know why I keep opening that. Why is Pi Cycle bottom on? Alright, I think I'm good on that. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes. I've been in the zone on these. Brutal markets. Said you want to look at XRP BTC. This is I'm not sure what you're seeing that would make it look more bully. I do not see it. I do not see these green eggs in ham. I don't love this. Not to say it can't break to the upside, but man, I've been talking about this potential. Double top here. Technically, and it's technically not a higher low. Retest of support. Highs are coming down. Support's being tested. This is not a good look. XRP needs to trade above quad 025. Needs to come up here. Then it can start looking good. But right here it does not look good. Through support. Through support. Rip. Higher high, and you're holding under your low. This honestly, you know, it just looks like almost everything in the space. This pattern I'm seeing emerge a lot. You go low, higher, lower, lower, low, back up. And it's like making something like that. Seeing that on virtually everything. There's not a ton of divergence from everything else here. Girl. We're just effing around and we're finding out. I'll find out over the next weeks, months. Put my desk into standing mode. Ooh, Bitcoin with a little move. Trying to get itself out of hell. What's up, Ace? You're holding your butt. Join the Discord. I agree. We have we've traded through more bear markets than I want to admit. You join our Discord, we'll be here no matter what. Nice little popper 1% candle here in 4 minutes. Hasn't necessarily made any progress, but nice little candle in the moment to enjoy. Got to break 90.5. Hourly's rolling over here. 5 minute, not quite yet. 30 minute. I see some signs of rolling over. All right. I mean, I'll enjoy this little green baby. This little green boy. Little green boy right there. Ah, the days when we used to see candles like this on real time frames, like daily, weeklies. Just beautiful, solid greens. Sexy green candles. What's up, Swiss cheese bakery buds? An hour ago, the Asthos asked if I saw a massive head and shoulders on Bitcoin. If we need a right shoulder on it. When you say massive, though, it's like maybe you're not talking about the same time frame I am. We need the right shoulder. Then yes. I mean, then yes, if we retest the neckline. Do I see a weakness here? Definitely. Do I see the potential for head and shoulders? Yes. But there isn't a head and shoulder yet. Not yet. Don't think it is. Not saying it looks full bull. I will reiterate, however, that this is still a higher low, and while this price action looks like cancer, looks like AIDS, it looks like it wants to break down, this is still technically a higher low. All that selling, October, and continued selling in November, did not break us slower than April. After setting an all-time high, you zoom out and you get onto a monthly time frame, whatever it is, and you are in an uptrend still, just like we were here. I'll admit this doesn't look the same. This looks weak. This looks like it wants to break down. The timing looks like it wants to break down. But as it is, I still think the upside to 100, mid 100, is better than breaking 80. We can see what happens there. Rejection from there, then we're looking for a break of 80. Nice little green. Maybe it'll continue. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Join. YouTube channels for crypto have gone right back to death, right back to the bear markets. Most channels are losing subscribers again. Bleeding subscribers day over day. We're still growing because of our awesome videos. If you haven't checked out our playlist, our free educational playlist, you should. It's free. I mean, I don't know. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Hell, that's a weird. Oh, this is a scam. I just got a new scam on. This is definitely a new scam on X. I should report this shit. I got a notification that looks like this. You can't see it. It basically looks like a notification from X. And it's like some weird space. I guess I'm tagged in, or I don't know. It's certainly a scam. Not clicking anything there. I was gonna show my move here. Did I close it? Ugh. Of course I closed my dash. Now dash is gonna go up, son of a bitch. You cunty thing. I'm glad I sold it, but still, you cunty thing. This is, you have to bounce here. I like these tops. Will I regret canceling it? Probably. At some point. Damn, Bitcoin's still pushing. This is on the 5 minute. So we haven't really gone anywhere. But looking good. I mean, I'll take it. Dash, you're such a bitch. You're such a bitch. I said it while I was live because I got it like 83. I said that I should sell it and I should rebuy it at 67. Instead, I like sold it here. I could rebuy it here, but it's like, goddamn. I'll just sit it out. And it goes up like crazy. I'll just get wrecked. Just get wrecked. That's fine. Let me refresh the chat. Stop looking at Zek. Chat thinks we're cooked. 56% of you. We're cooked. That's okay. Tariffs canceled. Trump won't impose the tariffs. Surprise! Gasp. Gasp. The word tariffs is irrelevant now. Absolutely irrelevant. Crazy. We're back, boys. Let's go. What's stocks doing off this? A little manipulated green. What do you want to bet? At this point, it's like, what do you want to bet? As soon as they come back to all-time high, we'll say something else about tariffs. Just like we'll slowly but surely grind down. President Trump cancels the EU tariffs. Bro, what is going on with Greenland? What is going on with Greenland? This is the weirdest shit. Never said a word about Greenland. And now it's like, well, if we gotta use military, we have to have it. We do not need to conquer other countries. It's crazy. Especially our allies, right? That's crazy. Fuck you, Dash. So, is this gonna run out? I need to close Dash. This is gonna be unhealthy for me to like keep looking at it. Just like the falling, like the wedging. It did that before though, right? And it like bounced and then it just kept going. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. Closing it. What junk movement is this? I don't even know, man. I don't know. Markets just, ooh, gold doesn't love that. Jeez. Wow. That'd be crazy if all those pairs just start reversing now. Silver's down on it. We just did all these pairs. Wouldn't that be madness though? Where did It closed it. It'd be madness if all those pairs reverse now. Like all of them we looked at that were just garbage. I mean, they're all going to be reversing right now. You have little green candles, yeah. Because Bitcoin is going up a little bit and they just dumped. Wouldn't that be crazy if that was it? If like that's the low and they're in, Platinum will have like the craziest, nastiest like little move here. Oh, that's weird. Look, on the hourly time frame, this traded to the support. Okay. If it reverses now, that would be insane. It will have followed the chart exactly. No way. What's going on? Polkadot good news? Kind of doubt it. Oh shit! I just closed Bitcoin. Bitcoin Christmas. We are getting a little excited, boys. Bitcoin's right here. Gold a little dumperoo, silver a little dumperoo. They're fine. I think they're fine. You know why? Here's why I think we just got this announcement. This is the real reason why. Oh, markets don't like it. Let me say something. They go back up, fill the gap. Dude, our markets are so manipulated. They're wild. Can't stop looking at Dash. Goddamn. I hate that I hate that I ate a loss on it. Gotta let it go though. That's how it is. But now I'm staring at it. I'm like, Fuck it. Get rid of it for a reason. I'm gonna hold on to that reason. God, this shit weird. Probably need a haircut again. Shit's already getting a little wolfy. We're so back, baby. Trump reached Greenland deal. I don't know about that. I doubt it. But certainly they're saying the tariffs are gone or are called off. But like a Greenland deal would be like that they're gonna give Greenland's gonna give, like, that's just not happening. It's not happening. 4 hours ago, European lawmakers suspend U.S. trade deal amid Greenland tariff tensions. EU halts approval of U.S. trade deal after Trump's Greenland tariff threats. European officials suspend U.S. trade agreement. So it looks like the EU responded and Trump caved. That's what it sounds like right now. I love how Trump's like, I want Greenland. We have to have Greenland. And then it's like, reasonably like, no. And then he's like, well, then I'm gonna put a tax on all Americans. He's like, that'll teach you. I'll make things more expensive in America. Because you won't give me what I want. I'll make them more expensive for Americans. That has been all of these tariff deals, tariff negotiations. And what have we gotten? What have we won? Nothing. We have no victories. It's wild. It's wild to me. I don't know. Based on a very productive meeting, literally you can hear Trump say that. It's his own word. It's very productive, the most productive. Oh, all the made deals. Our deals are there. We have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland. Honestly sounds like Trump's healthcare plan. Yeah, we have concepts of a plan. We're a year in, nothing's happening. Still going long stream. What's up, Quicker? Yeah, we're probably wrapping up. True, might not have the internet this weekend. It's supposed to be some big snows. Maybe find some of the fungus, some of the magical fungi to run around in the snow with. It will result in lower tariffs from others at the end. That's the goal. Bro, you're still. I got a bridge to sell you, buddy. Also, guess what? I don't care. I don't care if other countries have tariffs because that's just their country, their citizens paying more. Tariffs are not definitively, okay? Anyone can argue that tariffs are good or bad. You know, long term, short term, whatever. Like, you're allowed, you can argue that and you can make good points. But no one can make an argument that tariffs don't just cost the people who live in that country. If we tariff another country, only we are paying more for things. The other countries aren't. All the other concepts are like long-term growth. Yeah, they'll build factories here. It's like, yeah, maybe in a decade. Maybe it'll take like a decade or two. And like, you're really banking on that? I don't know. If we even can compete. In no way does taxing Japan bring in revenue from Japan. Let's put it like that. You can't argue that. There's no around that. The only people who pay tariffs are the people in the country that's enacting tariffs. That's it. The importers. It's crazy. The goal it definitely is not to get zero tariffs all around, nor has it ever been. That's never been the goal. Never. Also won't happen. Incentive to produce nationally? Sure. But not everything can be produced nationally. You can tariff coffee infinity %, and we'll never grow coffee here, bro. Like, doesn't matter what % it's at. The world is more complicated than that. There are things that we will try to build production for, but again, how long does that take to build the infrastructure, to build the manufacturing, to set up the workforce? Like, not saying that like it doesn't make sense in some ways. What I really am saying is that using it as a weapon is silly and ineffective. There you go. Source all of 2025. What have we gotten out of any of the tariffs? Period. Higher prices here. Either that or nothing. It's either higher prices. If you want to say that's not higher prices, then we can say that nothing except for destroyed all of the goodwill between us and everyone. So that's like a big cost. I don't know. You've had a year of this game. It hasn't done shit. Done anything. Is what it is. We're along for the ride. Why do countries go into panic mode? I don't think that they do. Where are we hearing this from? The guy telling you tariffs work? I don't think they go into panic. I think they're for like production and exporting issues in the short term. You have to like jostle around, but there's always going to be somewhere that will absorb it. Probably China. China will buy the shit. Come on, Bitcoin, you're so close. So close. Little ganja. Here we go. Nice little green candle. Is it the tariffs or is it just gold and silver chilling? I don't know. So gold and silver taking big hits. I did not expect these moves when we were going over these charts like back here. Silver down 2%, maybe 3%. What's up, Dylan? More numbers going down because more people are selling than buying. Follow me for more. Let's go, Bitcoin. I'm doing really well, Dylan. Doing well. We are bullish now. I hope so. That'd be cool. What's up, Hula? Where are we going up? Tariffing all of our allies over, taking over one of our allies' country were taken back after the EU created some trade stuff, and then we went back on it, and then gold and silver took a hit, and I think that is probably what's going on here. Gold and silver moving down. Bitcoin just like, I don't know, feeling that release of downward pressure. We haven't even broken to a new daily high. We are back. Like, that's a good candle. 10 minutes to go on the close. It's a good candle. Let's go. On the hour. Yeah, right there. We're up 2% on the hour. God, it feels like we're mooning. We haven't seen green candles in so long. Yeah, the whole Greenland thing's crazy. It's actually crazy. I was yelling about it being crazy. Remember when he was yelling about Canada and how Canada was going to become a state? Dude, I don't know, man. This guy talks all the time, and it doesn't. Just like none of the things happen that he says. He just tells you they'll happen, and when they don't happen, he says they just like take longer, and then when they don't happen, it's Biden's fault. Man, I'm not saying things were great in 2024, but like, bro, we've had over a year. You can't just say things are Biden's fault forever. I mean, you can and you will, but I just don't trust. Honestly, I just don't trust a single word the man says. You can say it's TDS or whatever, dude. No, it's like I've heard him say a bajillion things, and I barely can name any that have been true. Like, by the time you figure out and you're like, wait, that wasn't true, it's just like, now there's a new thing. The Epstein files. The Epstein files are illegally not produced from a month ago. And now it's like, now we got to invade Greenland. It's like, all you're doing is trying to distract us. It's wild. It's just bullshit. Hopefully that shit fizzles out. Backing out of NATO, and dude, that's actually crazy. I don't know. I'm getting too into it. Do you have the TIDS? I have RDS. I have retard derangement syndrome. Retarded shit is retarded, and I can't help but feel that way. RDS. RIDS. And there we go. Chilling. Gold, silver probably recovering a little bit. Not really. Not really at all. Bitcoin just not caring. Been a good stream. Thank you, Randy. It's a shit show. I'm not going to argue with you. Thank God I'm not running the country. Sure. Sure, brother. Sure, brothers. Let's go, Bitcoin. Damn, silver. That's crazy that we were watching these charts. We were just so in depth on them, and then since then we've gotten these awesome candles. I don't know why the tickers keep going away in the background. Metals were loving the tariff talk. Stocks loving the reversal, but just looking at that gap. We got the exact 1618 move and pullback last time. Back to the high. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if the same thing happened? 1618. Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh wait, that was the 2. Wait a minute. This was the 2. Maybe I'm miscalculating. Maybe we gotta go up here first. Kind of feel like we're just gonna rally back to the gap. Come on, Bitcoin. Long position for Sui. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it right now. I'm not gonna argue with you, Michael. We have access to Greenland. We don't need to colonize. We don't need to capture Greenland. We have complete complete access. We have anti-missile systems. We have everything. It is absurd that you're defending the potentially hostile takeover country, though. An ally that has never done anything. I'm done. I'm done with it, though. I'm not gonna argue it. And live 2 hours. That's probably the time anyway to call it. By the time. I do appreciate everybody tuning in, vibing. True that, JCD, true that. Love you guys. You got weird. You guys are interesting. You keep me on my toes. We'll be live again Friday at the latest. I mean, hell, maybe Bitcoin will actually do something. Maybe we'll be live again today. We've been live 2 hours. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. Sign up with our exchange partners, BYD, FMX, links in the description below. Get some big bonuses. Support the stream.